Thank you, Sergeant.
Well?
It's interesting.
Is it what you expected?
I didn't expect anything.
Then why are you here?
Look, Mr. Carson, nowadays when there's been a witness to a death...
Nowadays? Oh.
What I mean is it's not unusual for someone from my office to sit in on the taking of a voluntary statement.
When it's important as a death?
Yes, it's routine.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm going to have to cover your office with some regularity now.
Well, it's a public office, tax-supported. The press is welcome.
Good, good. I remember when I was being questioned in connection with my wife's death. I was in a room like this in the old courthouse. As a matter of fact, it was a room smaller than this one. There were 3 policemen, myself, and a stenographer, all jam-packed into a room smaller than this one for 5 solid hours of interrogation. And no one from the district attorney's office sat in on it.
It's simply a matter of how the office is run. In those days, a different time, a different world, really.
Mm-hmm. In your father's day?
Yes?
Post-war world, when everything was simpler and more orderly.
Oh, look, all I'm trying to say... You're forcing me to apologize for something that's absolutely normal procedure.
I'm not forcing you to do anything. The way things turned out, it might have been a good idea if your father had been sitting in on my testimony.
It wouldn't have affected the case in any way. He prosecuted on the basis of the information that was given to him, as any prosecutor would. The fact that later, much later, other information...
Oh, yes, much, much later. How is your father taking to retirement?
He's growing into it. It takes time. They gave him a farewell party the legislators and the governor still talk about. Mr. Carson, I want you to know that my father was overwhelmed when he learned that he'd convicted an innocent man. He talked about it often.
From the standpoint of the law?
From a very human standpoint.
You mean I was the first innocent man he had ever convicted?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. He often said that he'd like to look you up, to talk to you.
To apologize?
Yes, I think that's what he had in mind. I talked him out of it.
Yes, well, I think your father prosecuted on the basis of the information presented to him.
My father was the best prosecutor this county ever had. He was the fairest, the most careful, the most dedicated.
Can you understand how tired I am to hear people tell me that they only did their job, just their job, no more and no less?
Yes, of course I can understand it, but my father couldn't have done anything else. Unfortunately, there's no way to give you back those 18 years. Leslie Harrington, the blame lies with him.
Yes. Yes, Rodney's statement there, is there anything in it that gives you any reason to want to question him any further?
My father once asked me if I thought that I could survive 18 years in prison.
Look, I'd appreciate it if you'd
I
just
told him that I doubted it. I don't think I could walk out of that cell as anything more than an embittered, tormented shell of a man. I'm not as strong as you are, Mr. Carson.
And your father?
Yes, I think he could have. I think he could have come out of prison just as you did, fully able to resume his place in life, fully able to control his feelings of revenge. Am I making myself clear, Mr. Carson?
Yes, you are. I don't think I am. See, I want to know, as a representative of the press and as a taxpayer who's helping to support all of the county governmental offices, I want to know if there's anything in Rodney's statement that gives you any reason to want to question him further.
It's too early to tell.
Mama?
Yes?
What are you doing?
Oh, drying the dishes.
Oh, Mama.
It's better to keep busy. Oh, Stella.
Mama, please don't. Papa?
No, I don't want it.
It's like having the DTs, Papa. Only there's no waking up and swearing that it will never happen again. It did happen.
I'll never see him laughing again. Teasing me like he used to. He'd stick his head in the kitchen door and he'd say, Mom, I got a big date tonight. You got some extra change? I'd always give it to him. We tried to be good to him. Didn't we, Gus?
Yeah, we tried.
Maybe he was a little wild, but all he needed was the chance. That's right, isn't it, Gus?
I don't know. Leave me alone.
Gus, I have to...
Mama, stop it. Stop making excuses for him. Next time you talk about Joe, you'll be saying what a wonderful son he was, how he used to help his mama with the dishes. And on Sundays, build bookshelves with his father in the garage. That wasn't Joey. Stop doing this to yourself.
She's right. Look at his record. First, he started taking money from your pocketbook, then stealing automobiles, running around with cheap girls, lying, cutting classes. Oh, we should be proud of him. A son who graduates from the honor farm. He was always in trouble. You know it.
Maybe his trouble was you, Gus.
What's that supposed to mean?
Maybe if he had a different kind of a father, he would have been a different kind of a boy.
Now you're blaming me.
Maybe I blame us all. Maybe we all failed, Joey.
We appreciate your cooperation, Rodney. Ted?
Here you are, sir.
Thank you, Miss Wyatt. Oh, Ted, you'll want this for your file.
Well, it's all over with now.
I think we'd better get home.
Allison. Allison.
Good night.
Good night, Rodney.
Good night, Mr. Dow.
Preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
But surely you don't think young Harrington killed him?
Criminal proceedings are something no one would initiate if he had a choice.
But sometimes it isn't any choice, right, Mr. Fowler?
Did Rodney mention he wanted to go to the police?
I can't answer that.
How many ways can I say it? He slipped. He fell off the pier. I'm not a murderer.